Mr. Vampyr here. Welcome to another video. This is my third video of the night, so if I start to sound a little bit boring, you know, it's because I'm getting tired of the sound of my own voice. Yeah, a mental health video is what we're going to do today. There's been something on my mind for a while. I've read things in newspapers. I've seen people on about it in TV shows, online videos, articles online on Facebook and Twitter and so on. Like I say, it's made me think about it because I've kind of made the comparison between me and these people. I won't say exactly what it is just yet. I'll do that little bombshell in a little while. But basically today, I was talking to a friend on Facebook Messenger, and she was like, "Oh, when's your review due for PIP?" And I'm like, I don't get PIP. Last time I applied for PIP, I was given 0 points out of whatever it was that I had to score. I think it's something like 20 or 10. I think it's 12. Was it 12? I can't remember. I don't know how many points you're supposed to score, but you're supposed to score over a certain amount of points before you're entitled to PIP. And that really put me off. I could have put in a complaint about it. Well, not a complaint, you know, what's the term? You know what I mean? Where you say, no, I don't believe that's right. Check it again. But I couldn't be bothered to do that because I was like, well, I'm not really going to win anything, so. But you know, I'm struggling to live off just £500 a month. So everyone has thought I've reapplied for PIP. I've got the form. The form is just over there. It's just over there. Over there. Which obviously you can't see because of the background. But it's in the other side of the room. I've got the form. I just need to fill it out. But the problem with filling it out is it means I've then got to have an assessment, which is I've got to be in person, or because of COVID, over the phone. I have issues with both of those situations. One is I don't do people. I'm very, very awkward and inept around people, unless I've known you all my life. And it would also involve travelling somewhere, and I don't travel well because, again, people. So that one is kind of out of the situation. The other one is obviously the phone. People that know me know that I don't like talking on the phone because I get quite panicky, and as I do when I'm with other people. For me, facing people one-to-one and talking to them on the phone, it's the same scenario. The only comfortable method of communication that I'm happy with is typing on a computer and texting, because there's no actual physical interaction with another person there, where I can see or hear them. Whereas obviously if it's just through a phone, then it's especially just like I'm getting words, or if it's on the computer, I'm just getting words thrown back at me, and I can think about how to respond, and it's not like an instant thing. Whereas if you're on the phone and someone asks you something, you feel kind of pressured into responding almost straight away. I know there isn't that. I know you can pause and think about what you're going to say, but for me, with the way my head works, I've got to respond straight away. Again, when I'm in person, if someone talks to me, I feel I've got to respond straight away instead of taking a step back and thinking about it, which leads to a lot of awkwardness. So yeah, because of those two phones and meeting people thing, I don't really want to reapply for PIP because I don't really want to have to go through that. And I was explaining this to my friend, and here's where the bombshell is. She commented, maybe, because this is something that's connected with another form of mental health / illness type, whatever it is, whatever it's described as these days, autism. She was like, maybe you could be autistic or have Asperger's or something. Excuse me. So yeah, and that's basically what's been in my mind for a year or two now. Like I say, seeing it in adverts and not adverts, but like adverts for publications and interviews and stuff online, about adults who've like, oh, I didn't get tested for Asperger's, or I wasn't diagnosed with Asperger's or autism or whatever until I was in my late 30s or 40s. And I'm like, okay. And then reading the articles and stuff, and there's certain things that I have and the way that I am in my being, that kind of has led me to have this thought in my mind that maybe I could be autistic, or have Asperger's, which is a form of autism, because say I have depression, I have schizophrenia, I have social anxiety. I'm really socially anxious. I'm to the point where people say I'm socially inept, which I've covered before in videos. I really struggle with people and situations where I'm around people. I don't know how to act or behave or what to say or anything. I get quite OCD over certain things, which is another trait of autism. For example, I have DVDs. We all have DVDs. I, however, have about 3,000 to 4,000 DVDs, because it's like, oh, a film's come out, must get it. A TV series has come out, must get it. For years, literally, I was just going, oh, that sounds interesting, I'll buy it. I have got, as I say, that's just single DVDs. That's not TV series or films or whatever combined. That's just single DVDs. So, say for example, Star Trek. Obviously, each of those series is multiple DVDs long. When I say I've got 3,000 to 4,000 DVDs, I'm counting that as not Star Trek as one DVD. I'm just counting each of the separate DVDs that Star Trek comes under. So Star Trek The Next Generation is around 56 DVDs. Xena, Warrior Princess, and all one I've got, that's 40 odd DVDs. Friends, that's 40 odd DVDs. And that's stuff like that. And then obviously the single films, TV series that have only 2 or 3 discs, TV series that have only 1 disc, films that are double disc or multiple discs, like Lord of the Rings having like 3 or 4 different discs to them. So actual disc wise, I've got 3,000 to 4,000. And the way that I'm explaining that, again, is another sign of autism. I live by routine. Literally, I will go to bed at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, it's not bedtime. 5:15, it's pointless. Say 1 o'clock, dinner time. 5 o'clock, tea time. Shopping is Thursday. which I think is between 12 and 4:30 kind of thing. It is very much set in a routine and a pattern. If I differ from that pattern, I get really stressed out and anxious, which again is another sign of autism. We live like people with autism. I say we, but I haven't been prescribed as a diagnosis as it yet. But people with autism live by routine. They get stressed out when they're not in routine. They get OCD. They quite often have depression and social anxieties and schizophrenia. There's lots of stuff from what I've seen in articles on TV or the internet or on my phone or YouTube, all these different places talking about autism and stuff. My nephew, he was diagnosed with autism. He's actually just diagnosed with Asperger's, but it doesn't really affect him that much because he refuses to accept that he's got it, so he just carries on as normal. But when you look at him closely, you can tell he does have it. So yeah, it's something that's been playing on my mind. I've done a test online, one of these free online tests that kind of a company does to give you a rough idea of if you are or aren't whatever, and then you can phone them up and get an appointment to see an actual proper physician to get a diagnosis and so on. And I found one for Asperger's. There was 30 questions, and of those 30 questions I hit 25 that were for a strong indication of having autism or Asperger's syndrome. Obviously this is something I really want to look into, because it would explain quite a lot, and it could get me my PIP, because obviously with being diagnosed as autistic spectrum and depression, schizophrenia and all that kind of stuff together, it would kind of mean that I'm pretty much kind of unable to do really any kind of normal situations. So yeah, that got me kind of thinking about stuff. Yeah, so it was interesting, and she kind of agreed. Like I say, it was my friend who suggested it, and I do agree with her. So it's something I'm going to look into, because but obviously not straight away, because obviously at the moment our doctors aren't open because of COVID. All they're doing is telephone consultations. I don't think they're doing video consultations, which wouldn't bother me all that much. I don't think I could do a video consultation. I think possibly, because I can do Twitch streams in that I'm watching them talk and I'm interacting with them via the internet, typing, not talking. So now I could possibly do a phone conference, a video conference, but I don't know. I don't think our doctors do that. But no, that's what this video is about. Basically, is the possibility that I might have autistic spectrum traits, and possibly be autistic, which would explain quite a lot of stuff in the past. As I say, I've been rang about quite a lot with things that I was reading, the thing that I've researched. I've not done a huge amount of research, just things in passing. No, it's I lost my trail of thought now. But that's basically what the video said. What I've just said. That's video. That is the video. If you know me, here's where the question comes. If you know me, do you think this is something that could possibly be real? Again, with the OCD, there's not just the films and DVDs. There's my collection of other stuff. I tend to get quite obsessive about things as well. Not just collecting things, but actually finding stuff out about things. For example, OBS is a thing. The amount of videos that I've watched by a couple of different guys online who do kind of tutorials. You know, I've tried to learn quite a lot about stuff on OBS, which again is an autistic trait. For those of you who do know me really personally, I'm going to say the P word here, so not for kind of children's ears here, but no porn, for example. I do get OCD with porn. I'm not going to go into any more details about that. I just know that as with collecting lots of DVDs for films and TV series, if I see a star that I like, I kind of find that I want to kind of OCD, I want to collect all the scenes that she's done. Even if it's a scene that I don't like or haven't seen before, I'll try and get it, kind of thing. I've completely cut that out of my life now, though, because it wasn't a very healthy thing to be doing. So I've kind of trying to stop doing that. So yeah, you know, if you know me, do you think that I show signs of autism, Asperger's, other forms of mental health? Do you think that they kind of ring a bell in you? Yeah, asking you questions. How about that for a change? I'm going to leave it here. I'm not going to say what I'd normally say. Just do it all, and I will see you all at a different time when I've thought of something else to say about some other random subjects. Goodbye.